What is up, everyone? Hope you guys having a great day today. You listen to On Air with Nick Driver podcast here on YouTube. I drop fresh, hot content daily. This is coming from Fox News. Kid Rock reveals key details from Trump's meeting with Bill Maher. A lot of people were talking about the meeting with Bill Maher, and especially a lot of people on the progressive left did not want Bill Maher meeting with Trump because, you know, they don't like talking to people that do not share the same 100% ideology that progressive left people follow. Bill Maher meeting with Trump means, you know, Bill Maher is a sellout and now he is, you know, MAGA. That's how these people think. Guys, let's jump into today's video.
All right. Bill Maher may be one of President Trump's most vocal critics, but that didn't stop him from getting an invitation to dinner at the White House last night.
So how did it go? Music superstar Kid Rock arranged it all, and he joins us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning, kids.
Good morning. All right, tell us.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that Kid Rock arranged this whole meeting with Bill Maher and Donald Trump. You know, Kid Rock is a big supporter of Donald Trump. So it's kind of cool to see Bill Maher and Trump sit down. And you know what? It's all because of Bob, man. Kid Rock.
Tell us what happened from start to finish in 30 seconds.
In 30 seconds, I went on Bill's show. I went on his podcast. I said, man, you know, nothing happens if people don't break bread together and meet face to face. He's been one of the president's hardest critics. And we came to dinner with me, Bill, Dana White, and it could not have been better. Everyone was so surprised, so pleasant. The most shocking thing to me was, you know, Bill's obviously a very big liberal, been very hard on the president, but he's donated a lot of money to other politicians. You know, you've had Biden, Clinton, Obama, everybody. He had never been to the White House, and the president was so gracious. He took us up to the private residence. We saw the Gettysburg Address in the Lincoln bedroom, and I was like, "You've never been here, Bill?" And I was like, how about this? President Trump, you know, extending this olive branch and we talked about things we had in common, you know, ending wokeness, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy that, you know, Bill Maher, being that he's, you know, put money out there for Clinton and Obama and different liberal politicians, he's never even been to the White House. And the irony of it is Donald Trump extends an invite to him. Wow. You know, and even they're on opposite political spectrums. You know, that's pretty cool, man.
You know, securing the border. Right. You know, the president was asking him what he thought about policy, you know, going on with Iran and Israel and things. It just meant it blew my mind. It was right. I was, you know, very, very proud.
Bob, do you think he walked away liking him? Because, you know, Trump is the type of person that you got to meet him to understand it.
100%. Me and Dana both said there's never been that's ever met the president in any scenario that's walked away without saying like, wow, what a great guy. He's so funny, so engaging. He's so smart. And absolutely, Bill even said to me, you know, after that, he goes, wow, that was, you know, everybody's mind was kind of blown. Even the president's, I think, because the president called me late night last night. And, you know, everyone was a little suspect about going into this. And even the president kind of alerted to me a little bit like, what do you got me doing? Right. And I go, man, we're just trying to show people that, you know, even though we've been pretty hard on each other, that when you get face to face, maybe we could have a little more civility in this country and try to bring people together. And that was my whole intention.
You know, that was so important because so many people now are in their own little silos and they don't even talk to the people across the street because they voted for somebody else.
Yeah, everybody, especially with stuff like TikTok and especially with stuff like, you know, you have these different videos and people have a tendency to get into this algorithmic type situation where you're only getting feeds from one side. And a lot of times it's the ultra extreme side. What? You know, so it's best to come together and try to find common ground.
You showed that two of the biggest, most vocal people on both sides of the aisle can break bread, have a good time, and ultimately, I'm sure you took a bunch of pictures.
We did. Well, we kind of checked our phones. You know, the president put his phone on a table and he said, everybody, you know, and the guys kind of took ours, and the White House took some pictures, which I'm sure they'll put out at some point because I can't wait to have one of those. I was clowning around the White House all day, taking pictures in the bowling alley and this, and running around in my flashy, as your son called it, Peter, in my get shot out of a cannon suit. That was funny.
Evil Knievel.
So you did this. You set this up. Do you sense that anything will change with Bill Maher's show from here? Because I think he's been very fair, to be honest, out of all those shows. What do you think?
That's my hope that, and God bless Bill too, he even said going into this, he goes, because I go, Bill, I know, some of this Hollywood stuff, it would be great for you to get thrown out, and it'd probably be good for you to double down and be like, I can't stand this guy. And he goes, Bob, I'm not going to sabotage something that potentially could bring us and other people together,
That's
just
great,
to
man.
show that, that family member that you kind of divided with over politics, or that person at the school when you drop your kids off that is a left-wing person, and you're like, that maybe we'll just, hey, we can find things we have in common. And it gets so easy to go on social media. And one thing we learned through COVID was that isolation breeds hatred. We need to get out and talk to one another.
Yeah.
And you did it, and you made a difference.
Yeah, that's facts, guys. Isolation indeed does breed hatred. Guys, we got to get back out there in the world, talk to one another. We got to quit rooting for these people that do stuff like delete people that work with the United Healthcare system. Got to quit looking at people like that as heroes, okay? These people are not heroes. What a person that's actually a peacemaker does is they go out in the world and actually try to talk to other people that have different viewpoints than them, different opinions. Going out in the world and just spewing venom at people every day and, saying all these things that is derogatory to over 50% of the population is not a good way for us to get together and actually try to grow as a society. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments about this video? I think it's pretty cool that Kid Rock actually set up this, in between dinner between Donald Trump, Dana White, and Bill Maher. It was really between Trump and Bill Maher. I think it's pretty cool that he actually went through and did that, thinking of it in a way of trying to make it to where people can actually grow together and try to talk about things, even if they don't agree on everything that each one of them actually believe in, So yeah, guys, there you go. Let me know, guys, what you think of today's video. Kid Rock set up this meeting between Trump and Bill Maher to try to show people, hey, we don't do too well when we isolate like we did during C-19. You guys be safe. Take care. One love, man.
Hi.